Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. And it's the moment y'all been waiting for. Rinoa just dropped pretty darn hype pulls. I did pretty darn good on her banner. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do a character guide on her. So we're going to look at the calls, we're going to look at the artifacts, we're going to look at the spheres. Then we'll jump into a little showcase. Rinoa, like if you look at her Tomberry Troop guide, it looks like the most complicated thing in the world. But I'm going to try to simplify it all for you. She's not that hard to play. You just have to understand what you want to do with her. So for those of you that are unfamiliar with Rinoa, in this iteration, she's an insane damage dealer, but she's also like a support. Like she's got good auras. She can heal, but now she's dishing out like some mad damage, right? So let's go ahead and look at her calls, then we'll do our artifacts and spheres and then hop into the showcase. So Rinoa is someone who I've never really used her calls that much. So Angelo Cannon, you get a party heal off of it. And then the caller is going to get some Brave regen, some Brave based on Brave and some HP regen. So if you need a healing call, like Angelo Cannon is pretty decent for that. And then we've got the LD Wishing Star. All you're really going to get from this is you're going to get some max Brave, some magic attack and Brave damage up. And then you're going to get HP damage and some overflow. So it's okay, right? But typically when you want to do calls, I mean, you want like Raijin, you want like Kurasame. You might want some Brave gains, stuff like that. You probably want like Elemental and Chance depending on the situation, but Rinoa definitely isn't the worst. Like you can definitely find some use for that, right? So let's go ahead and look at Rinoa here. So let's go ahead and start with the artifacts. She's pretty basic. I would say you want to go attack 108, max Brave 330. Now she does have a decent C50, which is Leader of the Forest Owls boost. And I would say before her FR, you would want this. You'd want attack 108 in her C50. Because her C50 increases Brave damage for basically her HP and Brave attack pluses. The problem with it now is with Rinoa's BT, you really are using her BT plus attack, and I don't believe that this actually affects that. So you're better off going with max Brave because then you just have more Brave cap to work with, right? But I would say you try either one out, see what you like, but I would say attack 108, max Brave 330 is what you really want to go with there, right? So now let's go ahead and look at the spheres. So she's got an A, a C, and a D slot, right? So on the A slot, typical A slot stuff. You want, Brave damage, attack. Max Brave is actually really good on her. Magic attack is good. So there's a lot you could do. Now, I put her own on her because hers is a very good sphere, but not a lot of characters can make use of it. So it raises her max Brave and attack by 10%. Just when your HP is less than 80%, which Rinoa will do. She's one of these characters that like self-inflicts damage to herself. So she definitely can get away with that, right? So this to me is actually one of her best in slots because I would say attack max Brave is a very good sphere. Now some other A slots I think that could be really good on her. You could do a straight up Brave damage one, but I'm going to look at kind of like the most notable ones here. So if you want like a big fat like attack 20%, then you could do like King, but King is only on break, right? So you're not going to get it as often. But I would say there's really fat magic attack ones. So like Papa Limo, Aerith has one, but I wouldn't do Aerith's because Aerith is when your HP is above 80% and Rinoa is about being under. But I think Papa Limo could work. Clouded Darkness has a pretty good magic attack one, and then Alice has a pretty good one, right? In terms of attack max Brave, so this attack max Brave 10%, I would think is probably best in slot on her. So like I said, her own is very good. Sephiroth is very good. Now Sephiroth, your HP has to be above 50%, but that shouldn't be a problem with Rinoa. It's when you enter the last wave, right? So a lot of times the Shinryu fight, the last wave is the first wave, so you're going to enter at full HP. So I'd say Sephiroth is a pretty good shout out there. I would say Yang is a pretty good one. You can't really do Prish because Prish needs weakness damage unless you're enchanting. I think Arden's is pretty decent too, but I would say Rinoa, probably my top choice, but Sephiroth after that is pretty darn good, right? Now Rinoa does have some battery on Brave, so you could do like an attack Brave. So you go like a Machina, Jekt does pretty well there, Lightning does a little bit, so there's a few you can do there. I would say Dark Knight Cecil is a good shout out here because his is also a low HP sphere, and you'd get attack Brave. So that could also be a really good one there. So that's just a few shout out ones that we could do there. So it just depends on what you got. Once again, look at your roster, look at what you got, and see what you have. A spheres, there's always a ton of options out there, right? On the C slot, Rinoa does heal, so these healing spheres are really good. I'm going to say Garnet is best in slot on the C. Now, you could do some party up ones like Maria, Alphinaud, or Lou. Those are the common C spheres I recommend. But the thing is typically a healing character isn't like an insane DPS. And the fact that this is a healing sphere and it's a very selfish attack up, to me, this was like made for Rinoa. So I think Garnet is best in slot on the C. That's the one that I like, okay? And then on the D slot, this is just your typical, like, any of these attack boosting ones. So there's so many of them. I try to mention them all. So Ashe, Saz, Lise, Hope, Queen. Actually, Waka works because you do get a lot of buffs, and Waka would be a pretty top tier one. I happen to have a full Queen, and we're getting Max Brave and Attack. And like I said, I really like Max Brave and Attack on Rinoa, so I think Queen is a pretty good shout out here. The only D slot to avoid is the Lunafreya one because that's weakness damage. And once again, unless you're planning on enchanting there, right? So there we go. So there's all that. So let's hop into the showcase. We're gonna try to make her look good here. Sure, let's just hop in. I will bring a selfie. Yes, I'm gonna bring a selfie. I actually, honestly, guys, I might not put Rapture on because I don't want to do too much damage. So I think I'm just gonna bring in selfie to force charge. That's literally what I'm gonna do. Honestly, instead of core, I probably should have just brought Pinello in, to be honest. But that's okay. So here's what I'm gonna do, guys. So Rinoa is a little bit complicated, but it's really like the beastly Rinoa that everybody's talking about. It revolves around the BT. So she is definitely a full invest type of character that you definitely want to like green that. You want to green the BT. If you're getting Rinoa, you want to green that thing out, right? Oh, and of course I've got Lunafreya, so I can definitely like force charge like crazy, right? So let's start with the energy heal. And then we be putting that heavy prayer on Rinoa. Once again, for me worrying about killing the enemies, I'm still beefing myself up quite a bit here. And then what I think we'll do is we're just going to pop into LD. This is going to heavy prayer us. And then what I can do is I can manually quick prayer. So that's what I'm going to do here. So let's do that. We're going to take the free burst charge. You know, this is kind of the typical thing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to set up Rinoa with just a few free turns right away. Just to kind of explain the kit and show you how she's set up, right? So let's just energy heal again. And you know what? I'm not going to worry about doing the core trick here. So what I think I'm going to do is let's just bring in selfie. And we're just going to wall out. I'm just going to wall out right here and just force charge selfie all the way through. Because really we want to see this force and everything, right? So I'm just going to get it prepped. I'm not necessarily going to go into force like immediately. But I want to show off a little bit of Rinoa's kit here. So the way that she works, Rinoa is a stance-based character. And basically she has Angelo stance and Angel Wing stance. And so the way it works is Angelo stance is kind of her weaker offensive stance. It's her support stance, right? And she does a lot of healing for the party. And then just think of Angel Wing as the offensive stance. So when you have her BT effect up, you pretty much want to be an Angel Wing. And her moves kind of like bounce back and forth and put her in and out of stances, right? So there we go. And then let's go ahead and let's quick prayer on Rinoa. The cool thing with Rinoa is she can even like force charge herself, which that's the even more busted thing about her. With all the craziness she's doing, she's going to also force charge. Yeah, let's pop the Lunafreya BT, sure. Why not? Let's do it. Well, we be making her look real good here. Real good. All right. So we got the BT effect up. So now we got core. So we're just going to focus core and we're going to put Oath of Absolute Defense right on Rinoa. So let's go ahead and do that. Get Rinoa set up here. And then, of course, we're going to do Core's EX. And then we're going to hop in. Okay, so let's go ahead and pop the EX here. By the way, for those of you watching the recording of this, I'm actually live with a stream right now, so I've got a chat going. Just keep your eye out for these in the future. I'm going to try live streaming more. This is my first ever live stream. Okay, so we've got Rinoa up, right? So we got to talk about what she can do here. So with the free skill use, you can kind of choose a stance, right? So Angelo Cannon's going to be the heal stance. So let's start with that because I'm going to try to spend most of my time in Angel Wing stance. So let's use Angelo Cannon. So when you use Angelo canning, if you're in Angel Wing stance, it's going to remove it. And Angel Wing is her overhead. So you can definitely tell when she's in Angel Wing or not. So now what happens is she just gets an HP and Brave attack for Angelo, which basically will heal, is what they do, right? And so when you're in Angelo stance, you're going to be party healing and you're going to be Brave gaining your party, right? So that's pretty much what that stance is for, okay? So then what's going to happen is she also has Angel Wing stance. And so actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the EX just because I have it here and I've got the extra turn. So the EX, what it's going to do is if you're in Angelo stance, you're going to get the Angelo version of the EX, and then it's going to put you into Angel Wing. So this is actually good. So let's pop that EX. I'm kind of curious on what kind of damage we're going to get out of this because this is my first time using her. Okay, sure. 1.3 mil AoE for the EX. I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good. And we haven't even gotten to like the good part of her kit yet, right? But just a casual AoE 1.3, right? So Angel Wing is very cool because Angel Wing, the actual 35, this is a free instant turn, right? Okay. All right, so I just got a connection error on OBS. So I think my stream might have frozen there for a little bit, but I think we're good. So sorry if there's a little bit of lag there. So what the Angel Wing does is it's going to put you in Angel Wing stance. So you see I have the 3-turn overhead now. And then she's going to get a Max Brave up, attack up, and then she has Angel Wing. So the way Angel Wing works is now you got these really powerful plus attacks, but they're going to drain her HP every time she attacks. So let's use one so you guys can see. A lot of dumps, and that was for an HP plus to do 800k AoE. It's pretty darn impressive, actually. Pretty darn impressive indeed. So I think we're going to go into FR here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to energy heal up and spam some free turns to build up my overhead on Luna Freya. And I'm going to manually throw that quick prayer down. So we just got to spam a couple turns here. I know I don't need to force charge anymore. But we just want to get Luna Freya going here. And then we're going to quick prayer on our girl Rinoa, right? Okay, so let's quick prayer her. Now here's what you want to do when you go in the FR. So she's like Machina, and her BT effect is going to give her a ridiculous godly HP plus attack, and that's what you want to be using, okay? So the way you want to do it, it only lasts 6 turns. So you don't want to pop this BT on like turn 10 of the force time, right? So you kind of want to spam, you want to get to like turn 6 or 7 of force, and then you want to use that BT effect and then go into the BT phase, okay? So let's try it out here. I'm going to go ahead and Diamond Dust, I suppose. Oh, you know what? I could have reapplied Heavy Prayer because I think my Heavy Prayer is gone, but that's fine. Like, Rinoa can do a little less damage because these enemies are going to melt away once we get this going, right? So now that we're kind of into it, yeah, let's go ahead. Oh, and I haven't used the LD. I'll show the LD at some point, but since we kind of have the setup, we kind of want to go in here, right? So what we want to do is we want to pop the force. So we're going to go ahead and just pop that right away. So let's pop it. And let's talk about what her force does. So this is Double Holy. Yeah, comboing with Yuna, that's pretty fire right there, right? So it did consume party HP, so the whole party gets a little bit drained, but it's going to be worth it. So yeah, 1.7 mil just on that attack, right? And basically her HP damage conditions are this. Magic Brave damage is 20%. And then the active member, if they have a special effect, and that special effect I believe is referring to like the stances, so like the Angel Wing is like her special effect, so that's going to give another 20%. And then if the active member is under 100% HP, then you get an extra 40% if it's Rinoa or 20% for a party member. Now you're going to notice Rinoa healed up, right? So what I want to do here is just basically through attacking and spamming turns, I want Rinoa to basically be at like we're going to go in at turn 7. No, we'll go like turn 7 maybe and do the BT from there, right? So what I need to do is I am going to, well, because normally what you do is you let your party members take a turn, but I'm not really going to have it here. So what I might have to do is I for sure need to be in Angel Wing stance, right? So let's go ahead in Angel Wing stance. And then I want to start draining my HP. Because I want to get the percentages, right? So let's do HP attack Angel Wing. Get that HP drain. Okay. Yeah, so now we got 83% right there. Oh, see, I've got regen on. So the regen's going to mess me up. That's okay. So you want to go in without the regen on and set that up. But we'll just go through it so you guys can all see it, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop her BT effect here. And then we're just going to let her come back around. So this is not an optimal burst phase. So I'll kind of explain what the optimal burst looks like. So what you want to do basically is have it so she's not regenning. You want to basically pop her FR. And then pop the BT, let a couple party members go, get down to like turn 7, then pop her actual burst phase is kind of what you want to do. So what I'm going to do is let's just get the BT effect going right now. And then we'll just get it back to Rinoa's turn. And hopefully these enemies, if these enemies screw me over and kill me right now, that's not going to be good. Because these enemies can do nasty things. Alright, so we're going to pop that. So on the BT, let's just kind of talk about that a little bit. So the BT, big, huge attack there as you saw, puts her in Angel Wing automatically. And then for the burst effect, she's going to get HP regen. She's going to get this awesome Ultima attack. She's going to get attack, HP damage up, HP damage limit, just all this good stuff, right? Alright, so hopefully these enemies better not do anything too crazy here. Okay, so far so good. They're both targeting Rinoa, which makes me quite nervous. But we got to keep going. So let's reapply here to Rinoa. And I think these guys can paralyze too. They better not mess me up here. So we're going to be a little bit under on the turn count that we want to be. All right, please just don't mess up Rinoa here. And I just want to get in. All right, yep, just do Thundaga. Just do Thundaga again. Don't mess with her. Yep, okay, that's good. We'll take that. All right, so Luna Freya here, we just are going to attack. So we're going to be a little bit lower on the force time than we want. That's fine. We're just showing her off and kind of explaining how she works, right? All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to hop into BT. And you want to be basically an Angel Wing stance, have the BT up, and you're going to get this ridiculous sucker right here. So, Ultima Angel Wing. This is where things start to explode. So let's see the Ultima Angel Wing. And this is like Machina now. You just spam this sucker, and you're going to be outputting some damage. So, let's see. So that was a 6 mil AoE. Yeah, our gauge was up to 400, but you can see the percentages she's getting here is kind of crazy. And once again, not very optimized on this burst phase, but we're getting it done for the character guide here. And these guys are going to melt away. We're getting 80+% every time she's popped. Look at this. So non-optimal, and these enemies are still going to pop. Granted, this is the first Shinryu, right? But we're getting stuff done, and these enemies are exploding. So she's basically the AoE version of Tifa, just outputting insane numbers. The gauge is just getting up there, like, insanely. So, like, I said this before, but Cam's basically dead at this point. Because we're doing, like, 10 mil AoEs. 770, and we did this pretty non-optimally, right? Sure, let's pop another one. And then she comes out of this BT phase, and she's going to refresh that. And she can build up stacks of this. So, like, if you, say, have, like, 4 turns of that Ultimate Angel Wing, and then you go into another one, she can hold up to 10 turns of it. So you can have that up to 10, but you can't go over that, right? And then, these guys just got destroyed. And once again, I kind of demonstrated this poorly, I'm willing to admit that. But you get the general idea of how to play her. Now, we still have to do the LD. I haven't actually shown the LD yet. So I'll just explain it, because these enemies are out of here. Basically, what her LD does is it also removes Angel Wing, does an AoE attack, and then she gets 2 really nice buffs. Pet's Warmth, and then the Angelo Recover. Pet's Warmth basically makes her all of her attacks magic attack, because she does have some range, so it's going to make her all magic attack, which is very, very good, right? And it does do party attack up, magic attack up, just a lot of nice buffs with that. And then Angelo Recover, that just comes from her being an Angelo stance, does some nice buffs, and then does that HP regen and all that stuff there as well, right? So the big thing to remember is that the LD will remove Angel Wing and go to Angelo stance, and then the EX does the opposite, where it removes the Angelo stance and goes to Angel Wing, and then the Force Time will also go to Angel Wing. So anyways, there you guys go. Pretty darn busted character. Let me know what y'all think. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch y'all on the next one.